We are taught to trust in what we can see: the weight of stone, the thickness of steel, the institutional history of a vault. But in the modern era, the real mechanisms of finance have become invisible. When you look past the architecture, you find a system built on paper walls. Your wealth isn't held in a physical room. It's an entry in a ledger you don't own, subject to permissions you didn't draft. If your access to capital depends on a centralized institution's approval, that capital isn't truly yours. Real security requires a system that functions without a middleman's permission. This realization necessitated the move away from the traditional structures of venture capital partners. This transition wasn't a change in branding, but a change in architecture. We shifted from managing capital within a closed system to building an open, sovereign framework. To maintain the integrity of this new system, we established a core operational code, POISE. POISE is the ethical framework that ensures every component of the network prioritizes the individual. It's a blueprint for building a financial structure that remains independent of external control. Our goal is to move beyond simple asset management and secure the very infrastructure of sovereign finance. At the center of this infrastructure is Sigma BankAI. It functions as an agentic bank, a truly decentralized engine that automates complex financial workflows without requiring constant human oversight. Automation is made possible through real-world asset tokenization, the process converting physical property into digital data. A physical asset, like a gold reserve, fractures into hundreds of glowing data nodes, dissolving physical limitations into raw digital information. These nodes are minted into Alkoins and routed directly into a secure digital ledger, moving value into a dynamic custodial wallet. By removing the friction of physical borders and manual paperwork, tokenization allows capital to move instantly, turning illiquid assets into active resources. But software alone cannot sustain a financial ecosystem. It requires a human network to provide the necessary distribution and validation. This structural map illustrates the initial human foundation: 1,500 interconnected nodes. We call this sovereign symbiosis, a direct, unbreakable link between the network's code and the core group that maintains it. As part of this initial group, your role shifts. You are no longer just watching the development of a platform. You are becoming the owners of its physical and digital infrastructure. A network is only as independent as the people who support it. Sovereignty depends on your willingness to hold the line and validate the entries on the ledger. To facilitate this, the Sigma dApp is now live and accessible. This marks the start of the Sandbox experiment, the first active phase for all network participants. To grow the ecosystem's footprint, every early adopter is tasked with a specific onboarding protocol. Official sovereign status is reached when your central node activates 3 adjacent nodes, triggering a wider geometric expansion across the grid. This expansion impacts your balance. As the network grows, Phase 1 of the Alkoin airdrop is triggered, sending value back to your node. This referral and reward cycle serves as a live stress test. It measures the network's ability to distribute value and expand its reach through community action alone. Success in the sandbox also requires a high degree of observation. There is information embedded across this entire 5-part series that must be collected sequentially. Look for specific markers within the background of each episode. You will need to identify 1 character per video to complete the sequence. Once you have the full 5-character sequence, you can submit it to the dApp to secure a qualified lead badge and a permanent 2x multiplier on your initial node rewards. The marketplace is already reacting to this shift. In the Thrilla in Manila, we are seeing the first signs of a major transition in global finance, and the competitive landscape is tightening. The era of passive participation is over. The ledger is open, and your wallet is now your identity.